This is the Daystate Wolverine R. Today what we're going to do is test a variety of pellets from 20 yards, going out to 40 yards, and then out at 40 yards we're also going to be testing some slugs. We're then going to push the distance out to 100 yards and see if we can shoot some exploding targets in a 177 sub 12. But before we do any of that, we want to see what power this rifle is producing. We're going to fire 10 shots over the chronograph using 8.44 grain pellets.
700, 89, 700, 86, 700, 89, 700, 77, 700, 96, 700, 91, 700, 84, 700, 89, 700, 77, 700, 77.
10 shots over the chronographs. Definitely happy with that power. Let's go do some accuracy testing. Right then, 20 yards, large variety of pellets. See which pellet it likes and then we can push it out to a further distance after this. "20 yards, air arms, that is terrible." Yeah, that was really bad. Very surprising as well. Well, that's the 20 yards done. That's going to be very difficult to choose which pellets I need to take out to 40 yards because this just shot pretty much everything just as good as everything else, except for the air arms and the RWS. They weren't very good. Let's go take a look and then decide which pellets we need to test out at a further distance. At 20 yards, you're not really going to see too much of a difference. They're going to shoot really well. However, this gives you an idea of what pellet it might like out at a further distance, which is why I always test at 20 yards. And these are the pellets that I'm going to take out to that further distance. The target is now out at 40 yards. We've picked 7 pellets, which was quite hard to choose because most of them perform quite well. But this is where you'll see which pellet this rifle likes. There is a slight breeze which has just picked up. I think it's going from my right to my left, so there might be a little bit of drift, but we'll see. BSA Gold Star. I'm pretty surprised with that. They haven't really worked in too many rifles that I've ever tested, but this seems to like them. "40 yards done. Some interesting results. It's quite challenging actually because the wind has picked up, but I'm still happy with some of those groups. Go down there and we'll take a look. At 40 yards, this Wolverine R is producing some really good groups, but there are 4 pellets which I think have just stood out. They are the H&N Barracuda 8, H&N Field Target Trophy, QAS Streamlined, but the best one has got to be the BSA Gold Stars. But it is still quite tight between all of these pellets. This is going to be interesting. 40 yards with a 177 shooting slugs. Be interesting to see how these do. Let's find out. those Pro Hunter 9.5 grain have just done a pretty good group. Now, last slug of the day is Legion, and you probably never heard of these, but every time I use them, they are as good as an FX hybrid. They're terrible every time. Let's see how bad they do this time. Well, that was actually quite surprising. Legion didn't do as bad as I thought they were going to do. They weren't the best group, as they never are, but that's the best group I've ever seen at 40 yards. But go down there, have a look at these groups of these slugs. Some look like they've not done so bad. So let's go have a see. At 40 yards with slugs, it literally is hit or miss. But there were 3 slugs which performed pretty well. They were the Zan 10 grain, the Pro Hunter 9.7 grain, but the best one of them all was the Pro Hunter 9.5 grain. Under the size of a 5p coin at 40 yards in sub 12 with a slug is pretty good going. Here we go then, 100 yards, 177 sub 12. Not sure if we're going to have enough energy downrange to set this exploding target off. Hope we do. Quite a strong breeze coming from right to left, I think. It's kind of swirling. Let's see how we do. Here we go. Go on, first shot. Try that again, shall we? Okay, I knocked the target off. Let's try again. Whew. We did it, finally. I was actually shooting too high, I didn't realise for a while. And that was really lucky because I have 3 slugs left with the Pro Hunters, the 9.5 grain. I don't think Pellets would have enough to set it off, and I've got 3 slugs left with the most accurate slug that this Wolverine likes. In a 177 sub 12 at 100 yards, that's really impressive. So I'm really happy with that. Took a few shots, but we did get there eventually. Here is a tiny little exploding target, and as you can see at the top of my finger, we're going to try shoot 4 of these tiny little targets at about 40 yards. This shouldn't be a problem, and we should be able to do it in one take. So here we go, no pressure. You can see it all one go. Oh. And the last one just pinged off. Oh, that was a bit unlucky. Well, I got 3 out of 4. I don't know what happened with that last one. Maybe I just clipped it on the side. But if it was a clay pigeon, that counts as a hit, so I'm going to go with that. Well, that's my review of the Daystate Wolverine R in 177 sub 12. We certainly pushed it out, particularly when we was out to 100 yards trying to hit an exploding target. We used a lightweight slug, a Pro Hunter one, which it seemed to really like. Took quite a few shots, but we did get there eventually. Still had enough energy downrange at 100 yards to set that exploding target off. You're not going to get really good groups out at that distance with this power level. That's just accepted no matter how much money a rifle is. But at 40 yards, under the size of a 5p coin, 5-shot group, you can't complain with that. That's exceptional grouping, really accurate. Really nice rifle to use. If you're interested in the scope on top, there is a link in the video description where you can get a 10% discount. Click the link, enter the code at checkout, and you will get some money off. Again, as always, many thanks to Bamford over at Chorley. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do these reviews, so thank you very much. And if you like this video and you want to see more of them, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, and if you want to see exclusive content and behind the scenes footage, make sure you go to my Patreon. All the information is in the video description. Cheers.